Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is a makeup tutorial inspired of Sia/Maddie from the music video The Greatest. This look was done for Halloween just recently, and I thought I'd make a tutorial of it. So you guys go. If you want to achieve this look, just follow along and continue watching. Thanks guys! Hey guys, welcome to my first makeup tutorial. Before I start, I'm going to pause on this weird face and let you guys all know that I already put on foundation and I also primed my face before that, so I'm just going to show you these products that I used before I start the actual makeup tutorial. For foundation, I use this RIMMEL London Stay Matte Foundation in Fair Ivory. And I'm going to pretend like I'm some beauty guru and shove this thing in the camera like it's not already focused. I blended that out with this triangular sponge that's not a beauty blender. I primed my face with this NIVEA Men Post Shave Balm, as well as this NYX First Base Premier Primer Spray. Before all that, I cleaned my face with this awesome cleansing water. After foundation, I went in with this REVLON COLORSTAY concealer in the lightest shade. And I went in and put it underneath my eyes, a little around the creases of my nose, around the edges of my mouth, and my lips, and then any other blemishes on my face and neck. Not only does this correct any lines or wrinkles or bags on my face, but I feel like it also kind of lightens up these areas of my face, as well as prevents creasing later on in the day, and it makes my makeup last a lot longer, it seems. I'm going to take that same exact triangular knot beauty blender sponge and blend all of this out. I don't really use a beauty blender because, I don't know, I haven't really tried it, and I've also seen a lot of those videos of beauty blenders with bugs in it, so I am just sticking with what I usually use. When I'm in a hurry, sometimes I'll just use a foundation brush to blend everything in. I find that this also helps with these new piercings that I got on my face just recently. The brush kind of doesn't help cover or blend anything right around the piercings, and I don't want to snag it. So these are just piercing problems, people. But otherwise, you can do whatever you want to do. I would also like to mention once again that I am not a beauty guru or a professional makeup artist. I am actually just an artist in animation for a living. So any products or techniques or any process that I do with my makeup has just been something that I have learned over trial and error over all the years I've been using makeup, which has been since the 6th grade. All of these products have worked for my face and my skin, so I just haven't cared to buy anything expensive, or more expensive at least, otherwise. And sometimes I'm scared to try new things, especially if they're expensive, because I don't want all my money to just go to makeup when lately I've only been using makeup whenever I do any like special events or go out on, you know, fancy night or something throughout the week. So yeah, don't hate. Next, I'm going to go in with this white concealer that I bought from the dollar store. I don't know what brand it is. You can push pause and zoom in onto the product if you really want to see what it is. I'm just going to go underneath my eyes, just my eyes, again with this, so it'll look a lot more whiter underneath my eyes. For some reason, I like to have a gradient or have my eyes, or like the skin underneath my eyes, just glow a little extra than the rest of my face. You can also put these in your like T-zone or on your chin if you want the same effect to be a little bit more pale in those areas. Then I'm gonna go in and blend this crap out. For anyone who does have face piercings or don't, and they're wondering how I do my makeup around my piercings, I actually do get a lot of the product onto my piercings a lot of the times, but what I do is the very, very end when my face is completely done, I go in with a Q-tip with water or the cleansing water, and I just kind of clean off the product off of my piercings. It's inevitable. You're gonna get it on there unless you're super pro at blending around it. So this is going to be weird for most people, but I like to bake my face with baby powder. I'm pretty sure you have heard of this trend at least once or a couple times on YouTube. My sister actually told me about this trend when it was first, I guess, tested, and I haven't gone back since I've done this because I noticed it actually does make my face stay very matte throughout the day, because I tend to have issues with my face getting, sorry, got some in my mouth. But yes, I tend to get a shiny face throughout the day, and my makeup doesn't last as long because I do have an oily complexion. So I notice when I do bake with this, or even just put it on my face, my makeup lasts a really long time and my oils don't get the best of me. So I'm just going to use a clean triangular sponge just to kind of throw this product all over my face. I like to use this NYX waterproof primer on my eyebrows before I start my eyebrows. What this does is that it makes my eyebrows a bit smudge proof, and it makes it last a bit longer throughout the day. So to fill in my brows, I like to use this Morphe Professional Eyebrow Kit, and I like to use that shade in the middle. Now, how I do my brows, here's the brush, I use the angular side. And how I do my brows is I loosely fill it in and not really care how messy I'm doing it, as long as everything is pretty solid. I like to have my brows pretty dark and pretty sharp. My eyebrows are fairly thin and light, and I have gotten my eyebrows microbladed before just this year, so I try to just follow that shape that was microbladed into my brow. After the other eyebrow is done, I like to go in with this SUGARPILL black eyeshadow and just fill in the outer edges of my eyebrows just to make them a bit darker. And again, I don't have any neat way of doing this. I kind of just throw it on there because you'll see why next. Next, I will go in with this REVLON PHOTOREADY concealer in the lightest shade, and I will use that same brush from my eyebrow kit, but I will use the opposite side. And I will rub that brush onto the concealer just like this, and I will start to define my brows with this concealer around the edges of it. This helps shape the brow and makes it a little bit more defined and a bit sharper, and also it corrects all the mistakes that I did in the beginning when I told you you can just throw the product on there and not worry about it being perfect. Sometimes I correct my mistakes doing this. And while I'm doing this, it's a matter of sharpening and blending and sharpening and blending. And this is a really annoying part of my makeup, in my opinion, because eyebrows take for freaking ever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate, because eyebrows just make your face and you just want them to look as perfect as you can get them. And I know they're not supposed to be symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical, but I try my best to somewhat make it, I guess, symmetrical, and it's annoying. So after both of my brows are finished, this is what they look like. I'm going to go in with this powder brush, and I don't know what kind of powder brush it is or where I got it from. I think I just got it from the drugstore. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend out all of that baby powder all on my face, and I'm going to dip it into the baby powder that was left over and add more to my face. It kind of makes my face look a bit pale too, as you've noticed, so it might be something you want to consider. It's not completely translucent. And I like to kind of rub it over my eyebrows as well, so it's not as dark, and it kind of makes it a little bit more natural. Next, I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Fit Me translucent powder, and I'm also going to use that same powder brush to rub it all over my face. And then I'm going to take the sponge out of the powder and just kind of dab my face in the areas where it'll most likely crease. The reason why I use so many powder concealing products is because, like I said before, all of these products have in fact made my makeup last a lot longer than from when I would not use these products. So I know it's a lot, but it works. Next, I'm going to go in with this white pressed powder by MANIC PANC, and I'm going to take a smaller powder brush and brush this underneath my eyes, as well as a little bit above my lip, my chin, and my T-zone. What this does is, as you can see, it makes those areas of my face glow a little bit more than the rest of my face. Now I'm going to go in and contour with this Morphe Contour Kit 06F palette. I know it's really messed up. I've been using this for a very long time, and I used that lighter shade a lot. I'm going to go in with this Morphe contour brush, and I'm going to dab it a little bit on my hand so it's not as dark. And then I'm going to go in and contour my cheeks. What I usually like to do is contour my cheeks, as well as a little bit below my nose. And I also like to go underneath my jawline. I don't make it super chiseled. I kind of blend it out as I go. I don't want it to look too sharp or too dirty, so I don't really bronze. I just kind of do this and then stop at this level of contouring. After I contour, I like to go back in with my powder brush and kind of blend everything out so it looks seamless. And then I will go in with that makeup sponge eventually as well to kind of sharpen out my contour just a bit above my jawline. Next, I'm going to go in with this NYX eyeshadow base primer. What this does, it makes the eyeshadow last a bit longer, and it also makes the colors pop a bit. I like that this product actually has a little bit of glitter too, so it kind of shows through with the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to use this Blush Nudes palette by Maybelline, and I'm going to use this second to last color on the top row to put into the crease of my eyelids. This will be a transition shade. And I'm just going to keep blending it out with a little blending brush. I just got this brush from the drugstore again. It's not any specific blending brush. And I am going to also drag this color out a little bit onto the contour line of my nose as well. As you can see, I am not doing this neatly in any way. I'm just kind of throwing it on there I think I just want to show people mostly throughout this tutorial that, again, I want to stress so much that I'm not a professional makeup artist, and this is just what I do and what just works with my face. Next, I'm going to go in with this darker shade, and I'm going to put it in the outer edges of my eyelids. Again, as you can see, there's no focused way of doing this. I'm just making sure it's mostly on the outer edges and it's blended into the crease. Next, I'm going to go in with a smaller brush, and I'm going to use those same two colors and put those two shades underneath my eyes by my waterline. Next, I'm going to go in with this light shade on the same palette, and I'm going to focus on the areas right below my eyebrow, which is my brow bone, and blend that out just to lighten it up a bit. I just wanted to take a moment really quick here to let everyone know that eventually I do hope to buy better lighting equipment for these makeup tutorials. But for now, I'm just using what I got, which is my iPhone and a tripod. Next, I'm going to go back in with this same concealer that I used earlier for my brows, and I'm going to try to make a very subtle cut crease with this concealer. I actually don't do cut creases very often, and it's something I plan on practicing in the future, but I was okay with what I had for now for this look. I didn't plan on having it super perfect anyways. I kind of just wanted it to be a bit blended out after all in the end, but I tried. Next, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite palettes by Morphe, which is the 350 Shimmer palette. And I'm going to go in with one of those light colors and put it on top of the concealer on my lids for the cut crease. Next, I'm going to go in and get that lightest shade from this palette, and I'm going to put it on the crease to lighten it up even more, focused mostly on the inner corners. And I'm going to take that shade and also put it a little bit on my brow bone underneath my eyebrows to highlight that area up a bit. Now, just because I'm a perfectionist, I like to go back in and blend all my darker shadows out. I feel like I lost a little bit of those dark colors by putting the lighter shades on, so I'm going to go back in and make them pop a bit more. So here's a quick final look of the eyeshadow on my eyes. I know the lighting doesn't help much, but I thought I'd try anyways. Next, I'm going to highlight my face with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora kit. I am in love with this kit, as you can see. I have used a lot of this kit already. This is my go-to highlighting kit for my everyday makeup, and I'm going to focus on the higher areas of my cheekbones, as well as a little bit on the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose, and a tad bit on my forehead and my chin. Now for the part you've all been waiting for, I am going to go in with the Morphe eyeshadow palette in 35B. This is my go-to rainbow palette. Just owning this palette has helped a lot of my makeup looks that I try to do whenever I try to do anything crazy colorful. So if you just buy this, you're good to go for any colorful look. I'm going to go in with that shade of purple first, and I'm going to draw as carefully as I can lines going down from my eyes down my cheek. I'm going to focus most of the pigment closer to my eyes and kind of fade it out like a gradient as it goes further down my cheek. So just so I don't have to explain for the rest of this part, I will let you know that I will be going back and forth between this blending brush and the thinner brush I use to draw these lines down my face. I try to blend it out as much as I can as it goes lower down my face, and sometimes I'll go in with the colors to add more pigment closer to my eyes. As I add more colors on next to each color, I try to make sure as much as possible that I don't leave any gaps in between the colors, and to make sure everything is even and kind of equally as dark by the eyes, as well as blended out towards further down my face. This whole part of this makeup look did in fact take a very, very long time. It's probably the longest part of this tutorial just because, as you can see, it is a little tricky to get these lines to be perfect as they can be. But as you can see, they're not going to be completely perfect. I also didn't want to try to make it super perfect because drawing straight lines down your face is not easy. Also, it is really hard to keep everything even. I learned towards the end of the rainbows that my right side of my face didn't quite match with the left side of my face as where the colors ended and started, but I made it work and it was close enough and I wasn't going to stress out over it. Now that that long ass process is done, I'm going to go in with this MASTERFIX setting spray by Maybelline to make sure all the powders on my face are set in place. This helps the face or the makeup last a lot longer throughout the day. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to go in with some Kat Von D matte liquid lipstick, I think in the shade Haze. It's the lighter gray one out of her Haze and Haze 2 kit that she sold not too long ago. Again, I'm focusing on making sure my eyes and my lips stay nude, or mostly nude, so that my cheeks pop. Now, as you can see with the labrae piercing, I basically just work around the piercing, and I will at some point make sure no product gets on the actual piercing. A lot of people notice that my lips tend to be very sharp and defined when I put on lipstick. A lot of these liquid lipsticks that you see, they do help a lot because the applicator is shaped in a way where you can make it sharp, but if you can't make it super defined or sharp, what I will tend to go do is get a little tiny brush, a lipstick brush, and I will kind of dab the brush onto the lipstick product, and I will try to focus on the outer edges of my lips to get it as defined as possible. But I don't have to do that with this awesome liquid lipstick because the applicator is perfect and it works for this. I do love Kat Von D's liquid lipsticks. They last a very long time on your lips, and they're not too drying either. My favorite lip products are Kat Von D and Ofra if you want to spend money. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, NYX liquid lipsticks are really good, as well as ColourPop. NYX doesn't really dry out your lips, but it also doesn't stay on as well as ColourPop does, but ColourPop does dry out your lips a lot. But those are good options if you don't want to spend a lot of money on lipsticks. So for this part is completely optional. I just kind of wanted to do this part because I did do this little eyelash, lower lash, doll lash effect, sort of, I guess. I don't know what to call it. But I did do this effect the night before for another makeup look that I did, and I liked it a lot. For this look in particular, I didn't get it the exact way that I wanted it to be. I felt like I did it a little bit messier than the night before, but what I noticed with this look, it kind of almost looked like running mascara, and in the end I don't know, I made it work. I wasn't too happy with it, but I made it work. So this part's completely optional. If you don't want to do this part, I think the look will look just as good. You do not have to do this part. It takes a little bit longer as well. So next I'm going to go in with my all-time favorite black eyeliner by Revlon. It's a skinny brush, and I'm just going to go back into those lower lash lines that I drew, and I'm going to kind of draw over them close to my eye, so it kind of has this gradient effect again where it's darker when it's closer to my eyes and a lot thicker, and it kind of gets tapered as it goes down my face. Next, I'm going to go in with the same liner, and I'm going to start to line my eyes. What I usually like to do is do the typical winged liner, and I mostly use this product. I don't use any other fancy expensive eyeliners. This seems to work fairly well, and the brush is actually really good because it is very thin, so it allows me to do that very tapered wing towards the end. This is also a very practiced technique that I have developed over the years of my life. I am never perfect at this. Some days are better than others, and this does take a while for me to do. Some beauty gurus make this part look very easy, they make it look like they go very fast. Now for my least favorite part, we're going to focus on the lashes. Those were a pair of MANIC Panic lashes that I bought from the Halloween store. But before we start, I'm going to first curl my lashes with this eyelash curler I got from the drugstore. And then I'm going to coat my lashes with this L'Oreal Telescopic mascara in Blackest Black. This is my all-time favorite mascara that I use all day, every day. And I don't use any other mascara other than this. And it is drugstore mascara. Tends to work really well. Makes your lashes super long and it coats the lashes very well. A lot of beauty gurus like to use this particular mascara applicator, and they like to even save the applicator and use it with other mascara formulas. So I highly recommend using this drugstore mascara product. Next, I'm going to go in with this Duo eyelash adhesive in black, and I am going to coat my false lashes with this adhesive. And you know what? I blow on my lashes to make them dry a little faster. I know a lot of people say that to not do that because it has germs and blah 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 blah, but I freaking do it. So what up, guys? Fight me! Then I'm gonna take forever on one eye and put this lash on. And what I constantly do when I put on lashes is I constantly try to, as it's drying, press it down closer to my lashes, or the lash line, as well as kind of tap on the top of the lashes in hopes to kind of push it down even more. And this takes a long time for me, and it's my least favorite part because sometimes I do fuck up my makeup that I worked so hard on my eyes, and I have to touch it up afterwards. So this part is painstaking for me. Lastly, I'm going to go in with my favorite Almay pencil eyeliner in black, and I am going to coat my waterline on the bottom lid as well as the top lid. When I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with my mascara again and coat my lower lashes. So for the fun part of this look, I like to put some glitter glue adhesive towards the tear ducts of my face. Not on my tear ducts, I mean just by my tear ducts, so it looks like I'm crying glitter. And I like to get some loose glitter. You can buy this from any makeup store. And I like to just dab it on there, and it stays on fairly well and lasts throughout the day. It doesn't really flake all over the place. So here is the final look. I completed it with this wig that I bought from a Halloween store in Burbank. I hope you guys all enjoyed this look. If you wear it out for any event or on Halloween next year or something, please tag me in them, and I would love to see what you guys do with it. Thank you guys so much for watching my first makeup tutorial. I hope you guys all have an awesome week. Take care, guys.